Have you ever been working out and looking at all these numbers and telling yourself, I wonder where I am on the scale? Well, one of my biggest takeaways from Intro to College Math is being able to turn data into numbers. So let's take a look at these two middle numbers here, 87.5 and 77.5. I'm able to add those together and divide by 2 to find a mean of 82.5. That's just one of my biggest takeaways. Let's look at a couple more. Whoa, Michigan State University? Whoa, I could be a professional golfer? Or I could even go straight to trade school. Well, another biggest takeaway from Intro to College Math is college research. I was able to dive deeper and find really what I want to do with my life. See what I can buy. So I got 3 napkins. I could buy Gatorade for 1, Sword for 2, or Triscuits for 3. My final takeaway from Intro to College Math is budgeting methods. I'm able to learn how to spend my money and set myself up for success. So I think I'm gonna get a Gatorade and the Sword. Spend my money efficiently. All right, let's start studying for my big test tomorrow. Whoa, 50%, that's not too hot. 80%, not bad. But it's all right, because I'm gonna rely on this test tomorrow and I'm gonna replace these and get 100. The biggest suggestion would be to not rely on the chapter tests and the quiz replacements to get you a good grade. It built me a lot of unnecessary stress and I showed no discipline. My activities, I think the 50-person survey had an impact on my experience by learning how to manage data, inform numbers into percentages. Because like, for example, me and Jackson could have 2 different opinions, but it varies out opinions. I also learned how to take those numbers and create a meaning out of it and conclude references to go off of. And being able to turn data into numbers was one of my greatest things that I learned from the math. And it resonates with me because I can turn numbers and like apply it with real life meanings. And I can use this in real life, like when I feel lost and ask people around me, and if I need like a group understanding of like where I'm at, I can take numbers and take surveys. And then learning more side prompts like mean, outliers, range, and data set numbers impacts and gives me a greater realization of what like data actually means. When I was calculating future tuition in Intro to College Math, it was another great experience. And I was able to look at my future and see what I'm spending and learn new opportunities for tuition at different colleges, see how much I would spend at college and how much I would save. And also it was also good to see what I'm going to be spending when I go to school, and if I can manage what I'm going to spend for the rest of my money, whether it's food or transportation. Also able to take away that the 50-person survey allowed me to realize that the more data you have in a set of numbers, the more meaning you can turn out of it and the more accurate the information will be. When we went through the lesson on like calculating like college tuition and what I would be spending on all like the assets and stuff, I learned how like I'm going to be spending more opportunities and how much I would be spending at different colleges and what would be the best fit for me. So that was another one of my biggest takeaways. I would say the Detroit J Financial Park was a great experience in my opinion. My favorite part was being able to figure out like budgeting methods and having a mentor that's been through those scenarios and is going through them in real life, and seeing other people in other groups help me how to have a better understanding of all the budgeting methods to save and manage my money. And I got to take a break from like learning formulas and like calculating all that in intro and focus on like the real world and see like what I would be budgeting and being able to take into account what I'm gonna have to deal with spending in my life. One of my biggest takeaways is I feel like in Intro to College Math, we went through more like out of school topics instead of just focusing on formulas and numbers and how to calculate things. While still calculating things, we just, I got a better understanding of like what I'm gonna be doing after my high school years and what I'm gonna be spending on and being able to manage my money. Lastly, I think the crash reconstructionist was a great field trip because I got to take away so many things. We got to shy away from learning actual numbers and formulas, and we got to learn just something cool like break patterns and how much time you would have to go from 50 to 0, and that just focuses on like showing importance of real life. And being able to see what I would be spending on college. We got to learn a lot in Intro to College Math, and that's probably like one of the most real life scenario things I've learned in school. And I'm glad I got to learn that in my final math class because I learned so much and got to value like what I'm going to be spending when I go to MSU and all the Budgeting methods.